shadow of the one man that Jada could never get over, and that's Tupac.
Were you ever jealous of the love Jada had for Tupac?
Yeah. They grew up together. They loved each other, but they never had that, they never had a sexual relationship. But they had come into that age where now that was a possibility, and then Jada was with me. Pac had a little thing on that, but she just loved him. Like, he was the image of...
Wait, Pac was alive when he was messing with... So this is what Jada and Will Smith, no, Jada and Tupac. It's like this with Jada. She must have went at Pac, but since Pac knew her, I don't know. Probably at the time, Pac was a sucker. Remember, he was a sucker when he was a young boy. So she was a lot more faster. So he probably wasn't with it. Probably was with it. Probably was done. Probably just met other bad biddies. And she just like when you find when you find some thorough people, it don't matter who else you meet. But we also know that they said Will Smith and Jada, like Jada Pinkett had to audition and shit and go to etiquette classes to get with him. So who got time for that? Huh? But no, I'm not trying to. Let's see what we got on timeline. I really want to go over these stoic cartoons because I like these Jones. I just gotta find one. They should be everywhere. For real. It's like Stoic Marcus. Marcus was the one that got me. I do not want to type it in because if I type it in, then it's really going to be on my thing. But, yeah, y'all never seen these cartoons? Are they only popping up on my thing? See, I don't know what this is. Soviet. What?
By building above them. Welcome to Orbit Grad, the jewel of the People's Galactic Collective, a city suspended 1,000 feet above the Earth on gleaming adjustment.
Out in the devil, where ideas, where concepts, were opposite aspects of the same entity, of the same force. I learned that heaven and hell were conditions that exist on Earth, not above it, not below it, but conditions that exist on Earth in real time right now.
Yes. Yes.
Came to understand that religions were invented by men in an attempt to codify spiritual systems which existed thousands of years earlier. My understanding of spirituality has taught me that we are spiritual beings who have come here to have a human experience. We made the decision to come here in this life. I've come to understand that life is not a linear experience. We don't just live and then die and that's it. But life, by studying nature, is cyclical. Life follows patterns of birth, life experience, death, ancestorhood, rebirth. It is a cycle, an ongoing cycle.
I write this down.
I've learned that if you learn to use your spiritual
Base 44 super agents, the next thing you can't live without. No setup, just say hello. Every tool you already use, plugged in a click. And away it goes. Analyzing the competition and delivering a brief before you finished your morning coffee. Sit back while it understands your portfolio, builds and tracks dashboards.
The power that dwells within each and every person, then you have the capacity, you have the ability to experience heaven here on earth. If you don't know how to use it, every day of your life will be filled with hell and misery. But you have a choice. Only if you know that you have a choice. Only if you know how to use the choices available to you in order to utilize that creative force that works through us. My understanding of religions, particularly Judaism and Christianity.
So wait, so y'all know my poem, right? Where I say winning and losing is our choices. Our choices makes us witches, which is the yin yang in us, the Fibonacci sequence, the carbon inside, the chromosomes. I got deep, baby, Bubba. I got deep. Oh, yeah.
Humanity has taught me that true knowledge of spirit has been intentionally withheld from the masses of people.
The whole thing, the funny thing about it, all of my poems, I really just say the same thing in different atmospheres. It's really like, how can I say this? Okay. How can I say this to somebody else? How can I, like, I don't know how to say it. Oh, man. It's like in one part, I'm telling people, get peanut butter and jelly. And the next one, I'm telling people, like, cleaning up was crazy. But in the third one, I'm telling people, like, we just made a triple decker peanut butter, or we didn't even make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We made something else that you need peanut butter and jelly for. Like we put it in a pie or something like that. I don't know. But everybody thinking that they know from the ingredients, then from how you cleaned it up, but they realized that y'all didn't even have what they thought that you had. They just seen the cleanup and seen what you got. And then putting that in at the end, like, look, you think just because you knew that you knew that, and you didn't even know that. And then at the end of the day, I'll drop it and be like, but it was just a vape or some shit like that. But y'all really just vaping. And then break it down into like, why vaping is bad for you. Peanut butter and jelly, vape. Like, you know what I mean? Peanut butter and jelly, marijuana. Like, how silly does that sound? So it'll end up also hitting like political. It'll hit like a little kid, because a little kid can just hear it, and they're going to just hear the peanut butter and jelly part, and they're going to be like, yeah, I got that. A chef is going to hear like the ingredients too, or like somebody that's a maintenance person is going to, engineer going to be listening to what I use to make it. But anyway, you got to get everybody's attention. And by doing it, you got to speak everybody's language. And you got to say it in the pitch.
So that we would be subjected to the control of a handful of people who manipulate us through fear and ignorance. One of the greatest tricks ever played on humanity was to convince them that they only go around once in life. That you were born in sin, and somebody had to die to alleviate your sin. And that if you follow this person and their teachings, then you will spend eternity in heaven. And if you don't, you'll spend eternity in hell. When, based on my research, I've learned most ministers that I've talked to, I've had a lot of conversations with ministers in private and off the record, they would tell me that they don't believe in heaven and hell. They know that what they tell the members of their congregation on Sunday morning is something that they don't even believe in. I've been to Kemet with enough ministers who have seen in the Nile Valley the African origins of everything they talk about within their Bible. And I've asked them in private conversations, well, how are you going to share this information with your congregation when you return? And they have all told me to a person, man, if I share this information on Sunday, I'll be looking for a job on Monday. I tell people what they want to hear. So it's all a matter of condition.
All right. Wait, damn. What the fuck?
Watch what happens when a 50-year-old man walks DHT naturally for just 90 days. Day one. No.
And when people...
Yeah, as soon as I paused, they just threw the white man out there. That's crazy. But yo, all right. So this is the thing. That is true in a lot of ways when it comes to the preachers and priests and stuff like that. But A lot of them, they do what they got to do. And they tell who they got to tell. And everybody makes up their own way to tell people what it is. This is the thing. The whole not lying shit, really being able to use words. Because if you even go to them like that, they're just going to word solid you to death. But what do y'all think about that?
People can begin to condition themselves to understand greater truths, then maybe the people who stand before you on Sunday can begin to present those greater truths to you so that you can begin to control your life, your community, and your destiny instead of praying to others to do for you what you have always had the capacity to do. This is the challenge that we're faced with. What's important is that for the last 1,600 years, the world has been shaped. Our perception of the world, our perception of reality has been shaped by European explorers, colonizers, and enslavers. And they have historically used the Bible and the sword to conquer indigenous people all over this earth and to teach them to worship a God who looked like their conquerors. This action was initiated by Constantine, the first Christian emperor of Rome, who wasn't even a Christian. If you read the stories about Constantine, he was a Christian emperor, but he was not a Christian himself. Who in 312 ACE, on the eve of a major battle, had a vision. And in this vision, God came to him and said that he would grant Constantine victory if he fought under the sign of the cross. And so Constantine had all of his soldiers paint on their shields the Greek letters chi and rho. The Greek letters chi and rho are the first two letters in the word Christ. And they fought under the banner of Christ, and they were victorious. Now, they used the letters chi and rho because the letter J had not been invented at that point in time. All right, let's put all of the dots together so that when we connect them, we understand what we see. Constantine was victorious in his battle, and he discovered a weapon that was more powerful than any nuclear weapon. Constantine discovered the power of theological warfare, and he conquered people in the name of God. And he imposed upon those that he conquered who had different beliefs this idea that if you didn't worship my God, then I was justified to do whatever I want to you. If you were a pagan, if you were an infidel, I could kill you, I could rape you, I could rob from you, I could do whatever I wanted to do because you were not a believer in my God. Now, it's important to realize and understand some of these definitions. Pagan is not necessarily a negative thing. The word pagan simply means somebody who worships a God different from yours. That's all pagan means.
What?
So to a Jew, a Christian is a pagan. To a Muslim, Jews and Christians are pagan. They simply worship a God different than their own. There's nothing bad or derogatory or evil about that word if you understand it in its correct context. Every European conqueror, from Columbus to Cortez to Washington, engaged in theological warfare. And each of these men violated the very commandments that they taught their slaves to adhere to. America is a Christian nation because America was founded by Christians who stole the land from the indigenous people, who murdered and who enslaved others, and taught those that they conquered, those that they enslaved, to believe in a doctrine that they did not adhere to themselves. And of course, these issues are never.
All right, now this is good, but that damn I can't deal with that. I don't want that on my stuff. But it was so good that I had to break it down. But let's just go to the transcript. Well, not the transcript. I don't really want to go to the transcript. Let's go to the what are doing that? When was this made? Oh, this is made like today. What's his name? Dr. Let's just say Doctor. Oh no, Anthony Browder. Anthony Browder. You know how you spell Anthony? Oh look, he came right up. Oh, this boy. That's what he look. Oh, yo, some people be looking better when they get older. Like, no, but like just more distinguished, let me say. Because look, this was back in the day. Right? Right now, he in the mix of the struggle and the fight still. Everywhere he go, he got talk. See him? He husky. See him? Look, he couldn't even have a beard back then because he was talking so much. You feel me?
Isis, Horus, and Osiris were thought of as a holy trinity. By whom?
By the Greeks. The names Isis, Horus, and Osiris are Greek names. They're Greek names for African personalities. Now, we mentioned at the top of the show that I refer to myself as a memory recovery specialist. So let me just play that role for a second.
Please do.
We're here in Washington, D.C. And the most obvious symbol of the capital of the wealthiest and most powerful nation in human history is an object that is known as the Washington Monument.
Yes.
It stands in the geographical center of what was originally the 10-mile square of the capital of the United States of America. Now that symbol, ancient African symbol, which represents the resurrection of an African king named Asar, whose name was later changed by the Greeks to Osiris.
Mm-hmm.
So that symbol is the oldest symbol of resurrection known to man. And I might add, Rock, that symbol was developed in Africa, principally in Kemet, the country that the Greeks renamed Egypt. That symbol is over 6,000 years old. And it represents a man, Asar, who was the founding father of Kemet, the nation of the Black people. And Asar was murdered by his brother. His body was cut into a variety of pieces. One story says.
Oh, yeah. So that's the bull. But this is what I'm saying. It's the oldest monument because that's the easiest thing to build. When everybody trying to build something, like just build something as tall as you can so people can, like, that was the first skyscraper, like, build that, everybody meet around it, look at it, then they go home and try to build their own shit. Then you end up with a pyramid.
According to a story that is over 6,000 years old, a story with plenty of documentation that I see every year when I travel to Egypt, Aset was also a virgin. And before she buried her husband, the spirit of her deceased husband, Asar, came and impregnated her. And then 9 months later, the virgin Aset gave birth to this son, Heru. Now, according to some versions of the story, Heru was born 6,000 years ago on December the 25th. So we have within the story of the founding Paris of ancient Kemet, Asar, Set, and Heru, the fundamental story that would later be incorporated into the Bible as a story of Jesus. And there are numerous parallels that, again...
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is... I see the Bible like this. I see the Bible like, go for it. You really can't go wrong in it. But like it'll help you to become like a good person, to think before you do stuff. It'll start to teach you how to treat people, how to be treated, and things like that. But others can manipulate you because of it. And that's the problem. And it will be also passages inside of that Bible that will help them do that too. So that's just how that goes. But I mean, it's like if I'm teaching people about the 48 laws of power thing, ceasefire, what that's about. 48 laws of power. I'm telling you, shoot, if you don't use it, if you don't learn this, it don't matter if you don't learn it or not. I'm using it. So it don't matter if I'm going to use it or not. Like some people are like, I don't want to use that. I'm not going to read that. And it's like, yeah, but just learn about it. So that way, Juneteenth in Ghana. What? Bro, what are you talking about? I got Juneteenth in Ghana.
You don't know what an AI work management platform is?
No. What is it? What is it? Tell me.
Yikes. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes to the Monday platform in 2026 and what they actually mean. We all know we need to use AI, but we're still figuring out how. Well, Monday.com figured it out. Number 1, Monday Sidekick. It's like your own business consultant, but not like the one you pay hourly and that gives you generic advice. It has read every document, knows every project, budgets, timelines, everything. It answers any question about your business with infinite knowledge. Number 2, Monday Vibe. It's like having your own implementer 24/7 for free. It builds smart workflows with a single prompt. It makes adoption and onboarding way easier and faster speed to value. It will even build a whole new platform for you. Whatever you need. Number 3, AI-powered everything. Your budget column can extract quotes from a PDF. Your copy writes itself. Translating to different languages, done instantly. Everything just got faster than ever. Monday.com is the single best AI work management platform out there today. It's a completely new experience.
Ghana using Juneteenth to lure and scam foundational Black Americans. They're selling Juneteenth tours in Ghana. Here's why that's a problem. Who we want to go to see this real quick? What Ghana thinks about Juneteenth. Let's see what's going on.
Freedom Day that we should always embrace, because your forefathers, myself, my forefathers were part of all this kind of slavery. So don't you think you getting to know an idea about it, don't you think it's really important for you to know about it?
I don't really know much about it, but I know that it talks about the commemoration of freedom of Blacks or Africans. They were sent to the States to work. Okay. They were forced into labor, and on June 19, they gained freedom.
People like,
boom, there you go. They was forced to the States to work. They was enslaved. But if I was an African, that's good. Like, that's enough. Now, some people are like, hey, come back home, come back here. But is that where we was from, though?
Black Americans and Africans over the world, they celebrate that day to like commemorate the freedom of Africans from slavery. Yeah, that's what I know. That's what you know. Freedom Day that we should always embrace, because your forefathers, myself, my forefathers were part of all this kind of slavery. So don't you think you getting to know an idea about it, don't you think it's really important for you to know about it?
I don't really know much about it, but I know that it talks about the commemoration of
What?
We built America, and we gotta understand that. We gotta embrace that. We gotta know that. It's not for them, it's for us. I remember the first time a Black man went into the White House, I said, about time. Yeah? The Negro spiritual gave rise to gospel music, gave rise to rhythm and blues, gave rise to funk. Yeah, funk. Gave rise to all the Black music that we have and that the world wants to have, because they're trying to buy our patents and our copyrights. Don't mind them. The Negro spiritual is us. Peace. We didn't
History Month from Black Americans wasn't enough this year. Ghana wants people to celebrate Juneteenth this year in Africa. It says Juneteenth return to the motherland in 2026. They say you can visit Ghana and explore connections to African American history. The lies. Blanked lies. Ghana has no connections to Black Americans, not even my ancestors. You don't have nothing there to celebrate Black American history. The money scams, I just keep going. I can't understand that some Africans want people to praise Africa because it's so-called the motherland. But you can't make any money moves without throwing somebody else in there, aka Black Americans. This should be interesting because what history? Ghana has nothing to do with us. Nothing at all. Nothing. Well, people, are you guys going to Ghana to celebrate Black American history this year?
Well, I mean, why not? On one point, ain't everybody saying they don't know, they don't care, they don't understand? So then when they do, now it's cosplaying? Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, let them celebrate that shit. They know what's up.
Because it was a major hub for the transatlantic slave trade, and many enslaved Africans were taken from Ghana and other parts of West Africa.
Oh, so why'd she say that they don't got nothing to do with it? Is that where the White Castle is at, or whatever they called it? It was like a White Castle. Is that where it was at? Oh, shit. Oh, I'm making an app right now, y'all. I wonder how much this shit gonna cost. I have a garden called the North Philly Police Park. Not Police Park. My fault. Yeah, right now we're making this. Let me see. So we're using Base 44 to make this app. So let's just watch some Base 44 videos so we can see what the fuck we can do. Plus, we might find somebody with don't use Base 44. What? Damn.
Just anybody to use Base 44. Now, while it's a nice tool and it's very simple for beginners to start with, you're paying a very big price for the simplicity. First of all, money-wise, it's one of the most expensive ones out there. Second of all, you're paying with the future of your product. Let me explain. When you're building your application in Base 44, you are limited. You can't configure the back end to be very custom. It has to be all cookie cutter, and you can't import NPM packages, and you can't import CDN packages.
What's that?
Now, I don't know if you ever added a chat widget on your website. If you know what I mean, they give you like those embed scripts with like a link to then import those packages to then have this chat widget on your website. It's a simple thing. Every website should support it. Every application should support it. A smarter way of doing that would be bundling it in with NPM, but we don't even need it to do NPM. But the fact that it doesn't do NPM and it doesn't do CDN, that's those scripts you can add to import third-party modules into your application and extend what it can do, is a very big limitation. Because this just not only applies to chat widgets, this applies to every NPM package, and they're very cool. Let's say you're trying to build an application that's like Notion. Why build a Notion-like text editor from scratch, and the one that Base 44 gives you looks absolutely terrible, if you can use someone that already built a Notion-like text editor? Here's why I would never suggest any.
Why did he get to the point? What do people say? Because this nigga talk too slow. It's a good tool only for small projects. Okay. I use both Repo and I love them both. and when was this? 59, that's 2 months ago, 59 minutes ago. Let's say for most people, just creating their first app is perfect. The other ones have too many features, too much overwhelming, and people just end up quitting. I get what you're saying, but it sounds like that would be more for right. That is exactly what I need to hear. Thank you. If you're making a basic app for personal or close friend use, sure, base 44 is fine. But anything you're planning to scale would be a waste of time on base 44. You're going to end up paying again to make the application the right way. All right, now my application though, is just for the Peace Park. So I don't know if I get them. The limitations are actually way bigger than what you described. When you generate your app on base 44, it can only run on the base 44 host. They don't allow you to take your finished app, export it, and move it to another productive environment. If you want to replace their backend, you will have to perform this operation very carefully and manually, as they don't allow a proper export of the back end. The truth is, with base 44, you can realize your idea, even a moderately complex one, in 5, 6, 7 hours and get it working, test it a bit. And when you see the results, hand it over to a developer to turn it into a serious project. You realize you can bring your ideas to life and show it to someone, content, in literally a day. Boom. That's what I'm saying. So y'all need to stop bitching. This nigga talking about some don't use base 44. Handles, design, slides, and emails. You focus on winning. Oh, wait. What's this? I don't know what the fuck that is. Now this guy, he likes base 44.
$1 million by Wix. This AI tool was only 6 months old and it was developed by one person. This is base 44 and this is a web-based AI code editor, just like bold.new and lovable.dev. But this tool is different. You can simply just explain your idea in your own simple words and this tool will develop your complete project. But that's not the most interesting part. This tool builds your complete admin dashboard, your complete database. So it will not only develop your project, but also your complete backend, your complete admin dashboard without any extra hassle. And that's what makes this tool unique. I have created a very detailed video on this topic. You can just go ahead and watch that video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. This AI tool was recently acquired for $80 million by Wix. This AI tool was only 6 months old and it was developed by one person. This is base 44 and this is a web-based AI code editor, just like bold.new and lovable.dev. But this tool is different.
All right, bro, I can't. Come on. Y'all know. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, how to build no-code apps in 2026, a month ago. Let's go with this board.
Hiring programmers is expensive. It costs hundreds, if not thousands of dollars just to get an app demo running, let alone releasing a full-fledged product. But if you know how to vibe code, you'll bypass some of these issues right from the get-go. After this base 44 AI tutorial, spoiler alert, more like base 44, because it's that good, you'll learn all the basics to build your dream app at little to no cost, all thanks to vibe coding. And to build apps online even cheaper, make sure to snatch my discount from the description below, because why overpay when you don't have to? If you haven't been following all the AI trends, you might be asking, what is vibe coding exactly? Let me help you catch up. Vibe coding is a very Gen Z-esque way of saying programming with the help of artificial intelligence. AI tools that leverage conversational interfaces can now be used to build apps. In fact, it's no longer a novelty, but an actual viable business strategy, especially for those entrepreneurs with no previous coding experience. So if you're more of a visionary than a coder, good news, you can go right at it all by yourself. And that is a great place to start our Base 44 tutorial.
That's what I'm doing
Base
right
44 is a standout AI tool that the vibe coding community loves.
That's about to be
And
popping,
honestly,
y'all.
for good reason. I mean, you'll see me vibe code an entirely new app/service just for this video to showcase Base 44's real life capabilities. So while I talk, feel free to open Base 44 AI yourself via the link in the description and start building alongside me. Base 44 setup is simple.
Dude.
First, we need.
You know what? He probably got a fucking discount code, 20% off. See, that's why you always go to YouTube videos and you got to find the newer YouTube videos and look up whatever you're about to do, because a lot of the people gonna have codes. And when it comes to like buying all this shit, I'm looking at this shit like y'all can see it, but yeah.
Need to log in. I signed in via Google SSO. I recommend you do the same because it's the easiest way to get going. Once you are logged in, you'll see this chat box in the middle of the screen. This is where you'll fill in your genius ideas for new groundbreaking apps that will take entire industries by storm. Hey, we should dream big, right? I already have an idea that I want to put to the test. I decided to build a productivity app for task management called TaskFlow. I agree it's not the flashiest idea out there, and there are existing tools for that already, but they're expensive. So I figure, why not build one for myself and try to lower the price point? So I prompt Base 44, explaining everything I need in my task management
What do you know about North Philly?
I like to keep the core instructions in my prompt simple because I find that currently even the best AI tools like brief prompts better, no matter how clear, lengthy your instructions.
Located north of Center City. It is traditionally defined as the area between Front Street and Fairmount Park, extending north from Spring Garden Street to the city limits. North Philadelphia overview. North Philadelphia is home to a diverse array of neighborhoods, each with its own distinct character, ranging from the historic and artistic to the academic and industrial. Key neighborhoods. The region includes Fairmount, the art museum area, the trendy dining hubs of Fishtown and Northern Liberties, and Templetown, which surrounds the main campus of Temple University. Cultural landmarks.
I am making an app right now using Base 44. I am using the app right now with Base 44, and it is based on the North Philly Peace Park. And I wanted to be able to have the individual 21 beds, raised beds that we have. I want people to be able to come in and do different things with those beds and check in using the app. So what can I tell Base 44 to make that happen? One AI to another, you feel me?
That is a fantastic project for the North Philly Peace Park. Since Base 44 is an AI-powered vibe coding tool, you don't need to write code to make this happen. You just need to describe the database and user flow to the AI builder. To set up the 21 individual raised beds and a check-in system, you can copy and paste the following prompt, or a version of it, into the Base 44 chat interface. Suggested prompt for Base 44. I want to create a community management feature for the North Philly Peace Park. Please build a dashboard that tracks 21 individual raised beds. Database. Create a table for raised beds numbered 1 to 21. Each bed should have a status: available, occupied, needs watering, harvest ready. Check-in system. Add a check-in button for visitors. When they click it, they should be able to select a bed number, choose an activity, planting, weeding, watering, harvesting, and submit their name. Visuals. Display the 21 beds as a grid of interactive cards. Use green for healthy beds and yellow/red for beds needing attention. User profiles. Allow users to see their own check-in history so they can track their contribution to the park. Key features to ask Base 44 for. To make the app truly functional for the Peace Park's mission of self-determination and ecology, you might also tell Base 44 to add QR code support. Ask it to generate a unique URL for each bed that I can turn into a QR code. You can then physically stick those QR codes on the wooden beds so people can scan them to check in instantly. Harvest tracker. Tell it to add a counter that tracks how many pounds of produce have been harvested from each bed. This helps the park report its impact, like the 30,000 plus LBS already grown. Public versus private view. Ensure you tell Base 44. Make the bed status public for everyone to see, but require a login for people to claim or edit a bed status. Why this works? Base 44 uses natural language processing to build the front end, what people see, and the back end, where the bed data is stored simultaneously. By being specific about the number 21, you ensure the AI builds the exact grid layout you need for the park's current setup. Is there a specific activity you want to track most, like how much water each bed is getting? But who is currently claiming a bed for the season?
Yes. All right, wait. So let me copy and paste that real quick, though. What he just said, suggested prompt. Because base 44 asking me questions like I can't answer it. And y'all probably saying, and you can't because you're getting the AI to do it. It's getting answered. This is what I want. Base 44. Let's see. Great feature request. I'll build this out fully. See? The bed, grid, dashboard, check-in, and personal history. Let me create everything in parallel. Yo, Gemini know what the fuck going on, bro. The fuck going on. Why people be talking like that? Fuck going on. All right, now what do it say?
Building a community management tool for the North Philly Peace Park using Base 44 is a great way to use vibe coding for social good. Since Base 44 builds the front end, back end, and data models automatically from your words, you can be very specific about the 21 beds. To get the exact setup you want, you can use these specific prompts in the Base 44 AI chat. Phase 1, creating the bed grid. Start by telling Base 44 to build the core interface and database for the individual beds. Prompt, create a dashboard for the North Philly Peace Park to manage 21 individual raised beds. Build a database where each bed is numbered 1 to 21. Each bed record needs a status, available, planting, growing, harvest ready, and an owner field for the person currently caring for it. Display these 21 beds as a grid of interactive cards on the home screen. Phase 2, adding the check-in logic. To allow people to do things with the beds and check in, you need to define the workflow. Prompt, add a check-in button to each bed card. When clicked, it should open a form where a user can select an activity, watering, weeding, planting.
Can I give it the North Philly Peace Park's website?
Yes, you absolutely can. Base 44 has a specific feature called Start from URL that is perfect for this. Instead of typing everything from scratch, you can point the AI directly to the North Philadelphia Peace Park website. Here's how to do it and what to expect. How to import the website. 1. In the Base 44 prompt box, look for the plus icon. 2. Select Start from URL. 3. Paste the North Philly Peace Park website link. 4. Choose Content and Design if you want it to pull their existing mission photos and colors, or Design Only if you just want it to look like their site but have your own new content. What this does for your 21-bed app, by giving it the website, the AI will...
All right. I already know what you're about to say. All right, North Philly Peace Park. NorthPhillyPeacePark.org. We gotta do better. What's the phone? NorthPhillyPeacePark.org. They gave me something crazy. All right, on is the URL. Okay, let me stop. Oh yeah, let me visit. Oh my goodness. All right. Copy. I'm just gonna paste this shit in there, see what happens. All I did was just paste the damn URL into that thing and it said, let me go and find it. I can see the real park's identity and brand color. Actual futuristic design. All right, so good. You see that. Right now, again, we're making this Base 44 app. We're supposed to be doing something else. We're supposed to be watching stoic videos of cartoons and shit, but I need to, that's like entertainment, and it don't always build you up, but building an app will build you up. So build up. I actually should have made this app like 2 years ago, but I was just waiting till the day I can just do this, because I don't want to do any coding. I used to do coding back in MySpace days, man. That was fun. I used to have the best I had a good ass page, but because I was around so many coders, I didn't have a good page at all. I wasn't even in the top 100, but I knew how to do everything. I had Tupac on my page. I had DMX, Martin Luther King, SpongeBob, all these different gifs and stuff. Pictures, videos, my songs. I had a top 8. I had like a top 18. That was before, having less, because then it went down to like only having 4. Having the top 4 was good, because it meant that it started getting real Facebooky. Then Facebook took over. But the only reason why Facebook took over for real, is because we was doing so much coding on MySpace. So it was people not wanting to code and wanting to have a page just by picking colors and whatever, instead of having to go into the back end and finding them damn marks and shit. Well, let's listen to what he's talking about.
Instructions might be. I find it's more effective if you break down instructions into snippets. Also, the initial instructions matter a lot, so make sure to spend some time thinking them through so you can lay the most robust groundwork possible. My other advice is that if you're unsure if your prompt is clear enough, or if you just want to improve it, don't hesitate to ask ChatGPT or any other AI companion for help. Yes, it's a very meta thing to do, but at this point, AI can even help refine prompts or create new ones from scratch. Yes, at this point, AI can even make suggestions on how to improve itself. On the left side of the screen, you can see the full prompt that I used. I instructed Base 44 to use warm tones, have an easy-to-read at-a-glance UI, and to include all the core features I want, including smart task management assignment, a task delegation dashboard, task status, my own task views, and a team workload view. This is what Base 44 came up with straight out of the gate. Not too shabby. I like the overall design, but it does feel like some core functionality for task readability is still not quite there yet. The point is to spend as little time as possible managing your workload so you can be productive on the tasks that are actually important. And so far, task flow has not gotten me there, at least not yet. So let's improve it. First, I'd like to move the dashboard from the top middle of the UI to the left side of the screen and make it vertical. That's what I tell Base 44, and here goes. Shuffling the UI element takes some time, but it gets the job done and rather quickly. Next up in our vibe coding tutorial, let's preview the app itself. Everything seems to be working well. The UI is responsive and the functionality is there, but I'm still not satisfied with the app's readability. For example, the status of the tasks and the categories don't stand out at all, which of course is critical for a task management app. So I asked Base 44 to mark task statuses and category fields with different color schemes. For example, in progress is now marked with orange, and the category, like social media posts, is marked with darker tones, like navy blue. Now, these results I'm pretty happy with.
All right, so I'm in this joint, and they already told me that I need to give them some bread. I ran out of credits or some shit. All right, where's the app at now? Oh, y'all can see me live on TV. Damn. Mind your business. All right. So if you go to the app, this is what you see. My plants community. So we got all of the beds. So it's 21 beds. That's what the Peace Park look like. These 21 beds. And you press a bed. Right? Don't you press, what the fuck? Well, I guess that's it for base 44. So we got it set up for base 44. Wait, did I just lose my app I just made? Oh, okay. Your digital sanctuary. Okay. I wonder if y'all can see it on there. How do you make it though? You gotta pay for it. I'm about to make me something to eat. All right, so we got the app. It's called Philly Peace Park. And you got 21 beds. You can press the bed. It tell you about gardening, plants, and the beds. So, all right, that's that. Get y'all base 44. But I kind of want to see if there's any more. Which AI app builder comes out on top?
What actually makes a tool rollout succeed? Most companies think a rollout is just turning on a new system and sending out a training deck, but that's not how it works at all. A rollout is a really giant knowledge transfer project. Thousands of people suddenly need to know how to do brand new workflows, and this applies to every team: finance, HR.
You've probably been hearing a ton about Lovable and Base 44. I've been seeing them in ads and headlines. Everyone's talking about what they're able to build with these platforms, but which one's actually better? And could choosing the wrong one be detrimental to the project you're trying to build? So in this video, I want to answer that question. I'm going to compare them head to head, set up some examples, see how they create different things. We'll talk about pricing and, of course, things that maybe used to be true that aren't true anymore when comparing the two of these. Now, there's a lot to talk about in this video, but let's get started with what are Base 44 and Lovable. In case maybe you've seen the ads and you don't really know what they are, they're essentially an AI platform that allows you to build web apps just using a little text box. So you can type in like build the snake game or build, a Monday.com comparison, or maybe you want to make a platform that you could sell courses on similar to Teachable. There's a lot of things you could do. And because it's AI based, you don't need to know any coding. You don't have to drag and drop. You just talk in a natural language and say, make me a clone of Monday.com. And it's totally able to do a very functional job of that. Now, I'll show some examples of templates later on in the video, but this is a really big business opportunity that so many people are talking about now because you can find very niche applications that otherwise wouldn't have been lucrative if you had to hire a team of web developers, but now you're able to do that and monetize that. For example, maybe you used to be a roofer, but roofers are not using this software, and that they need a tool that can accurately estimate how many materials they need for a given roof. Well, you can now build that tool with a really easy user interface and start monetizing that and making money with a lot of roofers in your area. There's so many different options of how you can set this up and monetize it and basically make your own app using AI. So enough talk about the concept of them. Let's get into some actual examples and just look at the platform side by side. So to get started with either one, I have links in the description down below. You could also type in santralmedia.com/lovable. or santralmedia.com/base44. And I do recommend trying them both out if you're following along in the video. And you can see for yourself which one's actually able to make a better version of the concept you have in mind. If you don't have a concept, you can just watch this video and follow along with my example. So when you go to both of those sites, you'll see they have a really similar landing page, Base44 on the left here, Lovable on the right. They both just have a text box. You can add, whatever you want there. So travel itinerary app, landing page for a website, whatever it might be. So for an example in this video, I want to start off with kind of like a Calendly clone. Like I'm looking for something that's just like Calendly, but instead of kind of the awkward, like, hey, my time's more important than yours, just find some time on my calendar. I would rather have it like a mutual scheduler where you're able to say like, all right, what times are both free for us? Maybe you're going to suggest multiple times and let them pick one of those multiple times with the option to expand the calendar if they want to use it like that. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I think it's just kind of on those. And this is a little bit oversimplifying, but message credits is going to be how you build your app. So what you're actually telling the AI to do. And then integration credits are going to basically be what is running your website. If you have any connections, integrations, APIs, that's going to be your integration credits. That's more or less a summary of it. It's a little bit more complicated, but I think that they're pretty well proportioned for most people, for most apps that you're making. But you can see $16 a month, again, annual plan here. For the starter one, gives you 4 times the message credits, 20 times the integration credits. So you could really use this pretty substantially. And that's kind of the main difference between the free and the starter. If you go up to the builder one or any of the other ones, you're going to get a bunch of other things on the bottom, some other highlights like free domain that comes with it, for example. You can connect to GitHub. You can connect a domain to this. So these other ones, you can't connect your own domain. That's a pretty significant drawback there if you're trying to make something more professional. So really, for most businesses, the builder is going to be probably the cheapest one you'd really want to go with. So then switching over to Lovable. Lovable only has 3 plans and then like a custom enterprise one, but you've got the free plan there. You've got, again, this is switched to annual. You'll save money, or in monthly, you can see by default, they're showing you monthly, which is kind of nice, but they don't have the 2 different credit system. They just have regular old credits on this. So you're getting 100 monthly credits, but it's kind of distributed in a weird way. So you get 5 credits daily up to 150 per month. Lovable doesn't have the 2 credit system. You'll see this once we start using the app. They just have 1 kind of credit for making your app, and you get 100 monthly credits with the pro plan, and then you're getting an extra 5 per day, up to 150 per month. So 30 days if you're doing it like that. Whereas the free plan really limits you. You get 5 credits a day, and that's it. Again, the free plan doesn't let you connect your own domain and a bunch of other limitations like that. By the way, if you go to your plans on Lovable and you don't have enough credits, you could upgrade just the credits instead of having to upgrade to a different plan. So you could say maybe you want 200 credits a month, maybe you want 800 credits a month. It'll show you what the price is going to be right there. So that's something that, if you need to change it, is totally available to do. If you go to Base44, they don't give you that same option unless you go over to Elite. You can choose how many credits you're getting there, but otherwise you have to upgrade, and they kind of have a different tier system. So the winner of the pricing category is kind of a toss-up. They both have a free option. Lovable is a little bit cheaper to get started if you want to connect a domain, if that's really important to you, or Base44 is a little bit cheaper to get started and really scale it if you're okay with not using your own custom domain. Now, there are some more nuances as you build them, but I want to run that example one more time and see how they actually differ when creating a website. Again, I'm going to use a different model this time on Base44 and see how they look. All right, so this time we're seeing some similar results, although they look quite different aesthetically. But we have on Lovable, again, more of like an end user focused landing page that they developed for us, whereas Base44 is more of a dashboard for the person actually sending out the invitations. It seems to be a little bit more complicated and a little more filled out, I'll say, on Base44 right now, although they both do a really good job here. So, okay, so to answer the question I had in the beginning of this video, what are the differences between these? And the truth is, I mean, the differences are constantly changing. This is a real arms race where Lovable adds a feature, Base44 adds that same feature. Base44 adds a new feature, Lovable is going to match that one. So there's a lot of really similar features in these, and I'm sure by the time you're watching this video, there are going to be more integrations and more features that are matched on both of them. So at the time of filming this video, though, which one do I personally lean towards? Personally, I lean more towards Base44 just because you don't need to go and set up those integrations. Having the backend manage and set up essentially with Wix is a really big convenience. And it's something that I feel very confident in. Wix has been around for a while, and I just feel a little bit better building on base 44. I also like that it's super easy to change your models, and the integrations that are there I find are quite helpful, although Lovable is certainly an excellent competitor. So with that being said, if you're ready to get started, I have links down below to full tutorials on how to do that, as well as links to get started on base 44 or on Lovable. So check those out, and I'll see you over in those videos.
I just created a $47 ebook in 3 minutes flat using AI. Time me while I do it again. Already in Designer, interface is loading. Watch how fast this is. Clicking Word Genie. No delays, no complexity. Just entering my topic, email marketing for coaches. Hit enter, boom. Complete outline generated in 8 seconds. Now watch, it's writing full chapters with real content while we're sitting here. This would take me weeks normally. We're at 45 seconds total. Quick edits. Adding my personal angle here, tweaking this section, takes 20 seconds, still under 2 minutes total. The AI...
I don't give a fuck about making a book. All right, so we just published the app, though.
This, my friends, is Base 44, and it was built by a solo founder in just 6 months, and it now just sold for $80 million cash. So in this video, I wanted to see what all the fuss was about, so we're gonna jump into this tool and build an app from start to finish. Let me be the judge of this tool. But first of all, what is it? Well, as I mentioned, it's an AI coding platform focused on non-technical people, and it allows them to build websites, web apps, and apps by using simple prompts. Okay, Christian, that sounds pretty standard. That's pretty much what a lot of these AI app builders do. So how is this different? Well, the approach they took is quite interesting because they're actually an all-in-one builder, which means that unlike other tools, you don't have to connect several tools to get a project finished. Christian, what are you talking about? Yes, you're right. I should probably be on their website right now. Let's go. Okay, so when we come to the website, let's make your dream a reality right now. Okay, so here's where you would actually put in your first prompt to kick off the app that you're trying to build. Let's see what else we see. Here they talk about all the built-in components, pages, flows, and features. Okay. This is really cool. It's that the backend is built in automatically. So that's what we mean when we talk about an all-in-one tool. You wouldn't have to connect a separate database, for example, to be able to...
Let's press that. Let's see what happens. Did the shit come up or no? Damn. Bro. So y'all can't even see that. How do I find my app? I'm all dumb. Wait, bro. We need to change this shit. Oh, dot app. Duh, I just had to finish it. Bro. It's called Grow, Capture, Bloom. But see, I got it right here. I don't got no more credits. Oh, well. It's here. I just got to figure out how to get it towards it. But it's published. And then tomorrow I'm going to go and take the pictures of each bed. Put the beds inside there. And we're going to have ourselves a Peace Park app, y'all. Thank you very much.